Yo, how's it going, folks? How we all doing? Yeah, I know I'm late. I'm also dying from the man flu. And before anyone says that man flu doesn't exist, it's scientifically proven that there is a strain of flu out there that targets men only. Don't you agree, hon? Okay. Oh. Hey, Rabbi. How we doing, folks? I thought we'd have I didn't do a stream on Tuesday, so I thought we'd have a short one today, going through bits of news that are available out there in the good old world of gaming. Console sales are down everywhere, which is not unexpected. Rabbi, I'm feeling very unwell. Very, very unwell. Thankfully, I don't have the super flu. I don't really have the flu either, I don't think. It's just a bad cold. Now, I identify as Batman, but I can't tell you guys that because it's a secret. It's my secret identity. So, I just identify as Chaos. But you've never seen me and Batman in the same place at the same time. I'm just giving you that as a hint. But just saying. Your tablet is on full blast and you can barely hear me? Dude, I'm peaking yellow. Is anyone else having issues hearing me? Outside of my nose being blocked and me sounding muffled. Ah, you see, Ghosty? That is a clear sign of, camouflage deceit. This is Suikoden. This was the re-release of Suikoden that they did. I need to go back to it and finish it. I mean, I'm literally at max. I can't really... I mean, if I increase the gain, then you're going to probably start hearing me. Now I'm kind of peaking the red. And you're probably going to hear a lot more of my... kind of thing. I'll see, Rabbi. I'm gonna do another news video anyway, so I'll probably put it in there. But yeah, like OBS is peaking in the yellow at the moment. I haven't gone back to it in ages, Leaf. I will do eventually. Okay, cool. Well, I'll put the gain up just a little bit to see if that helps. Hopefully it does. But yeah, how have we all been? Hopefully you guys haven't got the Christmas bug. We've just had the Christmas massacre. I'm gonna guess my son Minnie, seeing as he's on his way to getting better. So he sold it to me and decided that he's now going to quarantine himself away from me. That's not how this works. I'm going to go and hug him. He's taking it back. How far is this? Probably about somewhere between 5 and 10 hours in. I would think. Maybe more. I can't remember. I might save it at some point on this playthrough and then it will show you. Oh, Yuka. Ah, Rabbi, that's never getting fixed. That's never getting fixed. That's over. That's a pipe dream. That's gone. Yeah, I do know a bit about the update. I'm just not sure how much I can talk about it. So I do know a bit about it, and 2.0, if what I'm hearing, is going to change a lot. I mean, what I can say is, I don't even know if I can say that. I don't know. I don't even know if I can say that. Yeah, Rabbi, they don't want to fix the problem. They don't want to fix the problem. That's the problem. To them, there is no problem. Can I message it in this one? Maybe, maybe not. Oh. But let's start off with the coalition. Gears of War E-Day is our most ambitious game yet. Entirely built from scratch in Unreal Engine 5 to feel like Gears plays like new. This is a return to our roots as Marcus and Dom face the Locust for the first time ever. We can't wait to show more next year. Now, this is highly anticipated to be at the Dev Direct. Yes, I know, I really sound bunged up. I can't help that. I'm sorry.
Ghosty85 celebrates 15 months of membership. Thoughts on MS being too cheap to do Xbox Wrapped?
Why did I hear that twice? Forza Microsoft being too cheap to do Microsoft Wrapped. Oh, I'm going to get to that. Ghosty, I am going to get to that. In fact, I'll fast track that to the next topic after the Gears. I'll thank you for the 15 mustard. But why did I hear that twice? I don't know. Did you guys hear that once or twice? I heard it like a double layer. I shouldn't have, but I did. Once? Okay, I don't care then. I can hear it twice. But let's update this. Let's update this to 22. Yay! Well, of course it's ambitious. They are not. If the Naughty Dog slow. Well, sorry. Gears E-Day has a lot, in my opinion, to prove. Gears 4 was okay. Gears 5 was very safe and very kind of lackluster. I think Gears E-Day kind of needs to be the one that kind of brings it back. They need to take some real hard risks that need to pay off. And I'm hoping that it's going to be good, man. We're going to see Gears E-Day most likely at the Dev Direct. So hopefully this is going to be good. But yeah, I think, you know, with the way they're kind of going with Gears of War, this needs to hit, this needs to land. Mate, Steve said Gears 5 was amazing. One of the best. I don't know what you're talking about. That guy's standards are so low. It hurt, man. Hey, Grey Manad. Hey, Grey. Appreciate the shout out over at Risk It. So tomorrow night, well, not tomorrow night, Saturday morning at 12:30 a.m. in the morning, I'll be over at Risk It's podcast, if he's still gonna have me, and if I'm still alive by that time in the morning. I'm hoping to be. So feel free to join me there as well, folks, as I get another invite to another podcast. Woo! So I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout out and the recommendation, Greg. But yeah, I think Gears E-Day has a lot to prove. I think they've got a lot to, deliver on this one, and if they play their cards right, I think it's going to be amazing. But they need to take proper risks. And I guess we're going to have to wait a little longer to find out which ending for Gears 5 was canon. You spelt it correctly. I predict a second games crash like we had. I don't know if we're going to get a second games crash. There's a lot of problems right now in the industry, and I don't think it's gaming that's part of the problem. Right? It's hardware. And we're going to see a really massive dip in the hardware. I'm going to have a video on this anyway later this week, but everything has a knock-on effect. Look, I want to upgrade my PC, right? So I wanted to buy a new CPU. But I can't buy that CPU without buying a motherboard, because my motherboard is AM4. So if I want to buy that CPU, which is AM5, I need the new motherboard. But if I buy that new motherboard, I don't have RAM. My DDR4 isn't going to work on that DDR5. And RAM prices are basically have pushed people out of the market. So that means motherboards, processors, the only thing really selling is graphics cards. That's it. Everything else is not selling. Anything that takes a generational leap, those people that are on DDR4 technology are going to be stuck there for a while, which means no new motherboards are going to sell, no new processors are going to sell, nothing, just graphics cards. So everything is going to see lower sales. Everything is going to be impacted by this. The bubble is not going to pop, and it's going to get worse. Hey, Talos. So, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this develops in terms of everything. But essentially, the market is cannibalizing itself, and it's forcing people to stay where they are. Like, outside of a graphics card, I can't see anyone really upgrading. Like, I've got an i9 right now, right? I can't what's the best CPU I can buy for a AM4 or 12th or 13th gen CPU? I checked the 9950 X3D, and they're still around 500. Maybe like 10, £20 more, but that's negligible, right? RAM is going to continue increasing because there's not enough supply. Right? But it's kind of self-cannibalizing. But when you're looking at DDR4 technology, AM4, I guess 12th is 13th gen processors, DDR4 gen or DDR5? I don't know that. So the Intel 13th gen supports DDR4 and 5. So it's the 14th gen that only supports DDR5. Okay, so the best I can do right now is essentially get, you know, either a 13th gen or a 55, or I think it's like a 5500 AMD 9 or an AMD Ryzen 7 or something like that. Like, there's no upgrade path for me. I've already got a 12th gen i9. I've kind of peaked where I can go. There's no, I can't hit any ceiling. All I can do now is upgrade my graphics card. Lost Signal, I saw that as well, that they've kind of are reducing their GPU. In fact, I saw that over here. Which, wait, what happened? Share screen. What happened? NVIDIA to cut gaming GPU production by 30 to 40%, but this is only affecting, for example, the 5060 series and the 5070. I don't think it's affecting this 5070 Ti. So it's only affecting the lower end models. The higher end models aren't being affected by this. That's the problem, Ghosty. So now, if you want to go to the next one, right? You need an AM5 motherboard. You need to buy that RAM. And so you kind of have to rebuild at this point, right? Because you're going through a generational leap. But the RAM prices have gone from £100 to £1,000 for, you know, 32 gigs. So it's gone completely stupid. It's not worth the investment. So people are going to stay here, which means manufacturers are going to start losing money. This whole process is just cannibalizing and hurting themselves because it's a massive knock-on effect. Oh, Lost Signals, it can push the prices up, but no one's going to buy. If you can't really see any real performance gain, you're not going to buy. You need some games are seriously CPU bottlenecked. So if you can't upgrade the CPU, you can't upgrade your motherboard. Sure, you might want to get a graphics card, but that's only going to see nominal gains depending on what you've got. You know, to me, this just looks like people pushing people more into cloud gaming. Right? Like, my GeForce Now gives me 5080 performance. I can stream that on my TV, my PC. No, this isn't an ad, but I feel like what they're doing right now is trying to push more and more people into a situation where they want you to be comfortable with playing on hardware that you don't own. That's what I feel is happening here. Hey, dude, it's going to cost you way more than 350 for decent RAM. You don't want to get the cheap, you don't want to get the crappy 32 gigabytes of RAM. And 32 gig right now is the minimum recommended. 16 gigabytes is no longer, you know, plausible. For someone like me, I want 64 gig. Because I do editing and stuff like that. But 32 gig for the average consumer should be fine. It's just mental, man. The RAM prices being £300-400 is crazy. Brandon, I have. They said no. Your laptop price went up by £1,000? Oof. That's crazy. And that's not a joke, Brendan. I really did ask. But yeah, this situation is getting pretty gnarly. And apparently it's going to continue throughout the whole of 2026. That is still a lot of money, Ghosty, for RAM. And is that like a CL40, which is like the bottom of the barrel? Or are we talking like CL30, which is high performance? Like, in the past, it just used to be getting priced out by the graphics card. It's not even that now. I actually considered switching over to AMD graphics card, but then when I compared the latest 9070 XT to the 3090 Ti, which is what I have, they're neck and neck. The XT beats it by like 2 frames, 3 frames. But then the RAM on my card surpasses it exponentially on those games that are bottlenecked by it. So it's in a, PC gaming is in a really limbo-ish position right now. DV, if I ever upgrade, my kids are fighting over it already. I told them it's going to be a cage match. RAM is crazy important. PS5 blows. That's why I'm saying you don't want to cheap out on RAM. You want to get high performance RAM. That's actually not bad considering where we're at right now. It's only going to get worse though. Excuse me. Sorry about that, chat. Just asked my son to make me a tea because, tea is something you drink. For those people that are northerners that think tea is something that you eat, tea is something you drink. Hey, man, you're not going to get anything. Although if I could infect you guys, I would infect you everywhere. Let me get rid of that Chronos thing. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of when I came online, that my coughing was gonna really impede the show, and I was hoping it wouldn't do that. Let's see. Chat commands, custom commands, nothing there, timers. Chronos is off. Okay, good shit. Done. Oh, consoles are gonna get hit by it as well. Do you know what? That Lost Signals dude sounds like he's from the UK. Let's ask him. Lost Signals. What do you have in dinner? What do you have in the evening? Is it dinner or is it tea? Does it go breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or breakfast, dinner, and tea. Now it turns you're drunk. But yeah, so it's this is a sad problem that AI has introduced, and it's going to get worse, unfortunately, before it gets better. There's no signs of it actually slowing down, and it's just going to continue getting worse until the bubble bursts. Hey, there we go. Look, it's resolved. Totally new guy in the stream. Dinner for me. Don't ask about my partner's family. You won't like the answer. No one cares what your partner thinks. We just care about what you think. And you have broken the deadlock. Random stranger has confirmed dinner. It is set in stone. Not much, power boss. We're just talking about the good old dinner tea debate again. Hello. My cat walks in saying hello. By the way, guys, what did you think of that Xbox LIX video I made yesterday or earlier as of this morning? Would you like to see more videos like that? Obviously with a better setup. That was like a Del Boy setup, for those that get the reference. Trust me, Del Boy would have been proud with how good I set that up. I mean, I was using the Xbox controller to play, so I don't have my hands on it. But yeah. Good old Del Boy, he would have been proud with my setup on there. Oh, dude, it's really cool, man. It's really cool. Now, I did get one of these. Which I'm also going to be reviewing, if you've seen it. This is the JSO. Don't know the model number. It's a 12-port HB 121B. It's pretty much one of their best ones that does 4K 120, which is basically what the Xbox LIX supports. Now, the cool thing about this is that you can pop this out and the tray comes out and you can sit your device in there. This is about £70. The problem with this is that the Xbox LIX is so fat, it actually can't fit in here. So that's a bit of a bummer. So, yeah. If you're buying this, just know that this is designed for the original Asus, the original Asus ROG, not the Xbox. But it's really powerful. It does it, got loads of ports at the back. So I'll be doing a short review on this as well in the coming days. And hopefully you'll like it. It's got I think that's a display port. And it's got a HDMI port, 2 USB-C, 3 USB-Cs, and 2 USB. Can you guys hear the cat? Can you guys actually hear him? It's not fat, it's big boned. Dude, I'm loving it. The extra power that it's got on there. It's beautiful, man. I mean, look at the beauty. Just look at it. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I changed the lights to red because, you know, red's my color, right? It's my favorite color. You like the redstone video? Yeah, if we get more stuff like that, I definitely will be covering it, PS5 Blows. Nah. No way, Bags. No way. Don't do that. Is a copper? No. Red and black has always been Man United. You're not taking that away from us. You did a thing yesterday? What did you do? Cesaro, I bought one. I got one. This is mine. They got one in my area. I stumbled onto Curry's website and they had it in stock. And I was like, hey, you got it in stock. Oh, look, something fell into my basket. Oh no. What's this? It's gone through the checkout? Oh, no. Like, that, I don't even know what happened. The transaction just happened itself. Like, do you remember that old Steam advert where the guy is trying to run away from the Steam sale, but his wallet goes and starts auto-transacting on the PC? It was pretty much like that, except, you know, I'm assuming some kind of script was running on my PC. It just went, click, add to basket, checkout, buy, done. I had no control. It just auto-done it itself. Wish you paid for it. You found your cables and replugged in one of my hard drives, and now I have my 8 terabyte. Nice. Cable too small? Oreo, come here. If you come here, I'll help your meowing. I'll meow with you. No? Okay. So, Xbox is not doing an Xbox Wrapped this year, but there's potentially a good reason. And the good reason that I read from here, if I'm not mistaken, is that Microsoft is too poor to actually get it done. Or they don't give a shit. Choose your pick. Hey, look. We don't talk about Newton Heath. That's a thing of the past. But I think the reason why they don't have an Xbox Wrap this year is because it will show that hardly the majority of people have moved to PC, and optics wise it's going to look very bad on Xbox. I think that's what it's going to show, that the majority of people today are playing their games on a PC style hardware, whether it's on a handheld PC, a laptop, a desktop, and it's really left behind the console, which continues to release games at 30 FPS. And for that reason, I think that's why they decided that they were not going to do one this year. That's my opinion. Like, there's no reason why they wouldn't do this. Outside of the fact that they saw the results internally and said, this looks bad. Playtime is lower. Everything is lower. It's going against everything we're standing for. Let's not do it this year to cover up any information. That's it. I think this looks awful. No, Paul, it would not. Power Boss, you should be able to format that to NTFS. Yeah, the website that you're going to, you kind of need to be registered with it and whatnot. You know, it's not a true reflection of what you've played. Microsoft shouldn't be allowing a third party to deal with this. This is something that they've done. I'm sorry, but they're not that poor. You know, I know they've gone from first, the richest company in the world, to now fourth richest company in the world. But they are still a multi-trillion-dollar company. To turn around and say that, you know, it costs a bit of money for marketing to do this for a giant company like Microsoft, I'm sorry, but that's just not it, man. There's no shot that anyone's gonna turn around and tell me that Microsoft right now is like fucking Oliver Twist going, please sir, can I have some more, because he can't afford to pay for anything. Right? You got them paying Satya Nadella, you know, 500 million bonuses. They're not poor. They can surely invest 10, you know, 5 grand to get this thing up and running. It's not even going to cost that much money. They've already got the infrastructure from last year, for God's sake. If anything, all it's going to do, they could have literally had the same assets and just changed the variables, right? Change the variable dates for it to work out what it needs to work out, because it's the same information. It's the same API. It's the same library. This just breeds laziness, and anyone trying to sugarcoat this, goalpost move this, or anything else, I'm sorry, but you are delusional. This is just them not caring or trying to hide data. That's it. Of course, they can easily just use last year's version. It's just saying, get the data instead of from January the 1st, 2024 to December the 31st, 2024. You're just changing it from 2024 to 2025 for both. Done. Finished. That will then look at your information and pump out the data. The software is there. They've used it. Sure, if they want to make it more fancy and add more different assets to it, maybe they'll get one creative to create the assets, one dev to implement it. You know, this isn't more than like a couple of days job at max. Right? There's only like 5 or 6 screens, so the dev is just going to go and put those images in place. Maybe you're going to have one person to QA it just to make sure the images look fine across the thing. You know, at max, it's going to take a week, right? At max a week. And I'm being generous here because I've done stuff like this, you know, where I used to work. So it ain't going to take that long. Xbox Wrapped basically tells you your year in review, how many games you played, how long you spent playing, you know, what games you played the most. It's just information. It's just data. It's just something that they do yearly. But this time they decided that they are not going to do it. And thank you so much for the £5 super chat, Banisher. I appreciate it, man. And since I've touched on it anyway a little bit, I can't go into details due to NDAs. From January, I'm going to be doing a real push going full-time on YouTube. You know, some of you know that I've basically been laid off. So, yeah, hopefully 2026 will be the year where we get more streams going in terms of gameplay streams. We get more videos coming out. We get more podcasts going. So hopefully, you know, 2026 will be the year that sees the channel finally explode and be something that I can do full time. So, no pressure for 2026, huh? Don't be, Grey Manad. Don't be. It is what it is. I'm kind of, okay with it. It's given me a chance now to kind of focus on my health a lot more, which is what I wanted to do. I worked throughout the whole of COVID, not a day off, didn't take any furlough. I've been working pretty much like a dog for like 14, 15 years now, where I was. So, I'm going to take some me time now to sort out my health, which is something I have been putting on the back pedal because of work. But it just now means that because I'm home, well, I was previously, but now that I've got time, I can invest a lot more time into doing this full time and trying to make, something from this. And, if it works out in 2026, great. If it doesn't, then I'll see what's next. You could do a My Time at Sega. My Time at Sega? My Time at Sega was awesome. It had its usual problems, but yeah, I wouldn't go back. But yeah, this whole situation with the Xbox Wrapped, I think is just whack. I think it's just so bad. I think it sends out so many wrong messages. So you will do Xbox hate videos? Come on, Raichi. You know I'm not gonna sell out for that. I never will. Don't get me wrong. If they deserve it, I will. But that's different, right? Like, you can see I'm being very critical and negative here about the Xbox Wrapped. But they deserve that. So I'm going to call out where they've done bad. But I'm not just going to make a video for the sake of it and say Xbox bad, Xbox bad. I mean, let's just look at what the potentially good reason is. Right, let's have a look and see what the potentially good reason is. A couple of weeks ago, Wrapped has become, if you look under a rock, you'll be unaware. Okay. Wrapped this year, and there's potentially a good reason. Okay, we've come to the point where there's a potentially good reason. Next year will kick off a confluence of major anniversaries, not just for Xbox, but some of its subsidiary properties too. Xbox is having its 25th anniversary alongside Halo itself. Blizzard is also having its 35th anniversary. And Bethesda is having its 40th anniversary. Okay. Xbox was launched as a brand on November 5th, 2001. Don't forget, the Xbox 360 launched on my birthday. Blizzard launched on February 1991. And Bethesda launched in June 86, ironically sharing a 40th anniversary with me. As such, a lot of the marketing budget would have typically been allocated to something like an Xbox Wrap. Is being poured into efforts that bollocks. All right, any front-end developers in chat right now? Seriously, are there any front-end developers in chat? Any front-end developers? Any front-end developers? Hey, why so serious? So would this not just require a variable change for the date? One sec, chat. wouldn't this just technically require a couple of asset changes, which shouldn't take too long because they're fixed assets, fixed imagery, and a variable change? Now, I might be oversimplifying this, but that's all this would require, right? I can't imagine this requiring anything more. Dude, this has got nothing to do with it. This is just them being lazy, man. This is the update to this shouldn't really be that long. What Jez is saying here is crazy. Crazy talk. Like, this is literally cope. This is just making excuses. As such, a lot of the marketing budget. What marketing budget, man? This literally needs one person to asset flip and go into the tables and change the dates for the year. Literally changing it from 2024 to 25. That's it. The data then comes out. It's spitting it out in the same table. The actual design is there. Right? Oh no, why so serious? It's not that it's a big deal. It's the, it's more the mental gymnastics that people are going through trying to makeshift believe that, them doing this is a cost-saving thing or something like that. It would take someone potentially like half a day to get most of this done if they really were pressed to do it. Right? There's only like 4 screens to go through. Right? It's not like there's a lot going on here. But yeah. No, that was rubbish. That was rubbish. Let's see. Let's see what people are saying. Good to know. I didn't care. True achievement steps in to show. Well, this that guy always thinks, yikes, no Xbox wrap this year. If it does not tell you Microsoft does not care about Xbox, nothing will. I mean, can't blame the guy for saying that for once. Xbox, once you read Jez's holiday spending habits and a quick history on Spotify, Microsoft isn't doing one because it costs money on marketing budget. Expect one every major anniversary like next year for the 25th. It's insane that Xbox is the only big platform that doesn't do a wrap-up of their own. I can't read that. This sucks. There's no Xbox in your review. Kind of getting tired of the excuse making for them. There's no excuse for this, man. There's no excuse for this. Jesse, I know they do. But even with PC, last year when they did it, they combined Xbox, PC, and cloud. Hey, Lost Signal, I have a question for you. Hey, man, cheers. I appreciate it. Huh? Hey, Minnie, how you feeling? You feeling good now? Now that you've sold me the cold? I'm gonna come and cuddle you to send it back. Yeah, you should come back. No, you're not okay. Alright, Lost Signal, I have a question for you, because last I recall, you were a front-end developer. A recent one. How much would it cost to change maybe 5 images? How long would it take, sorry, to change 5 images on a website that basically has 4 slides, or maybe 5, 1 picture per slide. It's in the same aspect ratio, no design change. You're just taking the, let's just say, a 4x3 image, and you're replacing it with another 4x3 image. You're doing that, and then on the back end, you're changing the variable date from 2024 to 2025 for the start, and 2024 to 2025 for the end date. So from January 1st to December 31st. All you're doing is changing the year to the following year. How long would that take to do? realistically. Oh yeah, Ghosty. I know that's what they mean. How long would that take you to do? So you're replacing 4 to 5 images on the correct aspect ratio so that it's literally an asset flip, and changing 2 variable dates. Dadim says an hour. You'll probably want a bit of QA on there as well. So maybe 2 in case something comes back. All the data is stored in the API. That's all sorted. That's all done for you. All you're doing is taking the data from a data range and letting it populate on the website like it did for 2024. You're changing the parameters to 2025, and that data is now going to be populated onto the website. Mate, see what this guy says here? That hurts deeper than, some people will know. My current job was QA. They really didn't need no more QA anymore. The changes would be quick, couple of hours, all the meetings, discussions, those changes, weeks. There'd be none of that, dude. So, a couple of hours work. So anyone thinking that this would have taken Microsoft a long time, a couple of hours at most. So there's no excuse why this wasn't done. None at all. None at all. There's no excuse. Other than the fact that they just couldn't be bothered. But no, I totally get the creative side of things. Cesano, all of that is already set up from last year. They don't need to redo it. They don't need to change anything. Just use last year's thing. Use last year's model, change the assets, the images, and you're good to go. It's literally a lift and shift. Not even a lift and shift, because that's actually more work. Yeah, this is the first time they haven't done it. But like I said, I think this is more them hiding something than not being bothered. I think they're trying to hide data. I think they're trying to, because it will show you how many people are playing on PC, how many people are playing on the cloud, and how many people are playing on console. And I think the results that people are going to see is a massive skew to PC. And maybe that just doesn't look that great to their investors. I don't know. Yo, Diablo, I'm really sorry to hear that, man. That must have been hard for you. Probably laid off all their front end devs. Feels bad. The DV mill? That's what you'd think, right? Oh, Powerboss, I 100% agree. I just think that there's no reason for that not to be shown. What's happening in Discord? I will, dude. I will. But, yeah. console wars coming no matter what. The thing I don't get, right, is like they keep showing that image with the how many consoles sold every month, and it's like, well, what does it matter? You know, at some point, you know, you kind of have to realize that no one cares anymore outside of the ponies. It's you know, they're basically cheering for themselves while the rest of the world just moves on. But yeah, a couple of hours work and they couldn't do it. I don't know, man. That just seems so lazy to me. Lazy. But J Duke, for those of you that don't know, this guy is the living body of Starfield. I think he has like 9 million hours in Starfield now. Unfortunately, that's not a joke. That is real. This guy literally plays this day and night. I'm pretty sure he manages to play this while he's sleeping as well. Like, his brain is so, you know, hooked into the game that he can now control the game with subconscious movements, and it just plays it for him while he's sleeping. You know, he's like in full dive. If you've watched Sword Art Online, I'm pretty sure he's like that with Starfield now. Like, it's like a 24/7 thing. So he's come out and said, wanted to verify the terms of the embargo before saying anything, but full disclosure, I can confirm that I received an early look from Bethesda Game Studios at what's coming to Starfield. I will be able to share more information in the future, but for now, that's all. And we've already seen people breaking the embargo, and so the ones that were made public, I guess I can talk about. Well, those that haven't seen it, it's basically kind of being redone entirely. A lot of the stuff, a lot of the flying is being reworked. Planet re-entry will be manual, like as if you were playing Star Citizen. Apparently, from what I'm reading, or you know, what is it? No Man's Sky. There's no more loading screen for that. How they're gonna handle the buildings, I don't know, but apparently a lot of the loading screens have been removed. That doesn't make it a good game. But yeah, they're re-changing a lot of the stuff. But it won't land until the PS5 version is ready. Can you land on gas giants? You cannot land on a gas giant. I don't know. Make no mistake that this version, this update that they're doing, is going to be really big. Now, with Shattered Space, they listened to what the community wanted, and they gave the community exactly what they wanted with Shattered Space, a tailored planet with the DLC on it. And when they gave the community what they wanted, the community said, "Oh, who asked for this?" And so now they're basically just not listening to the vast majority and looking at the biggest complaints and fixing those. Because a lot of the community said, you know, they didn't want random planets, they didn't want updates where it was, you know, kind of auto-generated stuff and whatnot. They wanted tailored planets this and tailored planets that, and Shattered Space was basically what people wanted. And it didn't do very well. Hey man, I'm not even going to get into that, Ghosty. You cannot land on a gas giant. You know, I still haven't finished it. I'm still doing side quests every time I go back to it, bit by bit. But yeah, here's the thing, right? I've been seeing breaking game coming to PlayStation and Switch 2. Now, the Switch 2 is interesting. Then it's going to Switch 2, if it is true. But how long have I been saying that this version of the update of the game is delayed because the PS5 version isn't ready? How long have I been saying that? Realistically, how long have I been saying that? Like, I've been saying this every time the topic of Starfield has come up. And now it's breaking news? Science says you could land on a gas giant, but the pressure would crush you into a small cube. Now, these people lost signal were saying that you could land on a gas giant, explore the planet as a normal human being, and have no problems whatsoever. You can run around, do the lambada, you know, do some dirty dancing, and do whatever you like. You can go and play footy if you wanted to, and you'll be perfectly fine. Then you can get back on your ship, and off you go. Like, I'm talking about landing on the planet, coming out in a Congo style, doing the cha-chas, and then get back on the ship and off you go. That's what people were saying. Hey, look, Susanna, let's not get into that. Man, what can I say? But yeah, what they're doing with Starfield right now, is essentially kind of giving it a complete overhaul from what I've read and have done. And it's supposed to be a lot better. So this could literally be a massive download for 2.0 whenever it lands. But like I said, and I've always said, it's not landing until the PS5 version is ready. Because when this launches on the PS5, they want to basically release it with the update so it's more lucrative. So it will get people buying it. We should be able to land on the sun. I mean, as long as you can build a ship that can withstand diffusion, then why not? I don't think it's possible, but maybe one day. But yeah, in terms of updates, that's as far as I'll go with this, because those are the ones that I've seen publicly leaked. The other stuff I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to get into trouble. Okay, I guess I could get into trouble. Then again, who the hell's going to watch my content anyway? Not. But yeah, from the the people that broke embargo and broke NDAs and publicly made these things available, that's what's out there. But there is so much more that's coming with this big update. It's huge. So when he says, on a personal note, I am stoked, if you enjoy Starfield, you are going to love this update. Just pray that the PS5 version gets done sooner rather than later so you can get it. Because Microsoft is not releasing this on Xbox until the PS5 version is ready. So as an Xbox customer, you now have to wait until the PS5 version is ready before you can play this game. As horrible as that sounds, that is the world we live in now. I'm not hyping this. I'm just saying it's, I'm trying to keep it as steady-headed as possible. Just people broke embargo and revealed information for Starfield. There's going to be a lot before GTA 6. I reckon Intergalactic will land before GTA 6. I mean, they have a Star Wars mod that you could put in there with lightsabers and stuff. Cut down on loading screens, overhaul to the game, more streamlined stuff. Yeah. I don't know about the interplanetary loading screens, but entry and re-entry should be seamless now. I mean, people managed to do it with mods anyway, so it wouldn't surprise me. Warp should also, but not really sure how boring that's going to be. I mean, I've seen it on Star Citizen. You sit there for ages on a warp screen going from one planet to the one solar system to another, and you know, the first time it's really cool, the second time it's cool, the third time you're like, come on! Unless you're pulled out of warp by space pirates. That happens. Or by players. That happens too. And if you're in a shuttle in Star Citizen where you don't have any weapons, just Alt F4 and come back later. Or pray to the RNG gods that the game's going to have a server blip and then make everyone fall to their doom. Believe it or not, that is a possibility. It can happen. We've done a warp jump in Star Citizen. What are you talking about? I mean, I wasn't the one that decided, hey, I'm going to jump out of the cockpit while we're in warp. Hands up in chat who thinks that's a good idea. The story for that one didn't end well for the person that jumped out of the cockpit while in warp, I can tell you. Yeah, not your best moment. That was hilarious. Seriously though, Lost Signal. We need to catch up one day for a Star Citizen stream. It'll be fun. We'll have plenty of time soon. Hey, Shinzo. The KOTOR remake looked great. No, I haven't seen that mod. I'll have to check it out. I need to finish the story first. There's so many side quests, though, and so many factions. Yeah, the KOTOR remake kind of disappeared. Take it easy, Paul. Your family just came back from the UK? Oh, that's cool. Too real? Oh. Forza Motorsport is dead. No more Forza Motorsport. It's no more updates, no more anything. Everything is now on a torrential loop, and what you have there is it. They have moved on to Forza Horizon 6, and Forza Motorsport is forever abandoned. So for those of you that were hoping for another update or hoping for the ray tracing or RTGI fix that they done on PC that was going to go to Xbox. It looks like that's not going to come over to Xbox. The promise was that it would go to PC first, and then once they got PC done, it would go over to Xbox. They got the PC one done, and then Microsoft pulled the plug on any more content. And so Xbox once again gets the short end of the stick. So, I mean, it's not the first time, so it is what it is. But yeah, it's a shame what happened to this game. Yeah, Leaf, I haven't seen that mod. They were still kind of releasing updates back in terms of like a fully dedicated team. There was no longer a dedicated team there, but there was like a live team doing updates for it, and they decided that it's time. They're gonna call it quits, and now the team is basically now working on Forza Horizon 6. The team didn't officially close Power Boss. It more they kind of like got rid of like 50% of the people or whatever it was. So they weren't in a position to make a full game, but they were still supporting the game through live service. So, you know, the live team was still there supporting it, making content, releasing cars, you know, updating the roster and whatnot. But yeah, that got pulled as well. There probably won't be a new Motorsport. As of right now, if you want a sim-like experience, the only one left really alive is stuff like Gran Turismo. I think Assetto Corsa is really simmy as well. But in terms of mainstream titles, GT pretty much is the only one. Susano, I think that's really the issue. They don't really have that. I don't think they have a big enough community behind it. And, you know, the launch fell flat on its face as well. It didn't ignite anyone in the PC market. I don't think it really ignited anyone in the console market outside of those people that played it just so they could record the night setting and show the reflections and then probably never played it again. But Fallout 5 news. It looks like it's going to be set in the same area, same kind of setting as the TV shows. Fallout 5 will be existing in a world where the stories and events of the show happened or are happening. How do you Fallout fans feel about that? Comparing Forza Horizon with GT7 isn't a right comparison, though. That's comparing an arcade racer to a sim. It's the wrong comparison. What you compare with GT7 is Forza Motorsport, and clearly that didn't do well. Comparing it to Forza Horizon's, 5, I think is disingenuous. And the only reason you'd do that is just to, essentially mislead the community into thinking that one is better than the other when they're two different games. You wouldn't compare Ridge Racer with, Sega Rally. Actually, you probably would. But you wouldn't compare Ridge Racer with Forza Motorsport, for example. They're just two different games, right? But this is kind of interesting that they're tying it in to the TV series. I like that personally, because what this is doing to me, who isn't a big Fallout fan, right? I love the TV series, but the previous games weren't really a massive thing for me. This has me more excited because I like the TV shows, and if I can see the areas from the TV shows or visit those areas in the game, that has me more interested, more excited to dive into that world and explore more parts of it that I couldn't do in the in the game world than what the TV show was offering. Does that kind of make sense? So I think them doing this is going to bring them a whole truckload of people interested in the French, new customers. I think this is in terms of PR and marketing, this is great. This is going to drive so many more people forward. Is it available already? Is Fallout available, Season 2? What's your thoughts on the Netflix FIFA game exclusive to Netflix only? No one cares about FIFA. It wasn't. See, here's the thing, right? With that FIFA thing, and I'll come back to this in just a sec. Everyone thought that by removing the FIFA name, EA Sports was going to suffer. EA was going to suffer with their FC, whatever it's called. The reality is, people are still at FC, and even though FIFA's gone, people still call FC football, whatever it is, FIFA. And that one will maintain all the players, and Netflix is just going to have whatever it is. They don't have the same engine that EA has, and people are buying into that system. They're buying into that thing. So Netflix, getting the FIFA type, the name. If they did this the year that EA lost it, I think you probably would have seen some real change. But now people are so embedded and know what they're buying. I don't think it's going to be successful for them as much as they think it is. Oh, cool. I just finished Wednesday today. From waking up and sleeping and waking up and sleeping. Season 2 was... I don't think Season 2 was as good as the first season for Wednesday. Okay, I'll have to check it out tomorrow. Yeah, the EA proved that the FIFA license wasn't needed, and they saved, I think it's 18, 20 million. I think FIFA were asking for 20 or was it 30 million for the license? They were originally paying 15 million, then EA wanted double, and they just turned around and said, no, we're not paying that. And then FIFA said, right, we're going to take the license back. And they said, go ahead. And then they proved that they don't need the license, and now they're saving way more money, and the game is super successful. We're doing horse waifu wars in chat now? Oh, no. Oh, no. Uma Masume can go away. But I think this is really cool. If the game is going to be based around the TV series, in and around there, I think that's really awesome. And that is going to get a lot of people interested. All right. Boys, what's the situation between Larian Studios and AI? I don't understand. Can someone sum it up for me really quickly? To be honest, Banisher, since Monday I've been dealing with solicitors and stuff to sort out, my work situation. So I've really not had much time this week to deal with any of that. Which is, and you know, being ill on top of that, I've been sleeping a lot. So I've kind of not really been thing. I mean, you've seen I've been posting videos at like 4 a.m. in the morning, which is ridiculous, but maybe at that time they don't get the traction that they're supposed to because the videos haven't done well. Or maybe you guys just aren't interested in those topics. Why I was asking if you want to see more Xbox LIX content. Because, you know, put a lot of time into the video for 400 views. It stings a bit. But it's also why, you know, I'm going to be taking YouTube way more seriously. We're doing a lot more YouTube shorts, a lot more TikToks for those that want to follow me over at TikTok. And, you know, I'm really going to give it a good crack this time next year and try to see if, you know, can do something a little more full-time-ish on here. Valerian said concept artists use Gen AI art to get ideas. Okay, so what's wrong with that? But it was removed or redrawn from ground up before it was ever put into... I mean, why does that matter? These stupid AI statements, and now people just need to get over the notion of AI. It's here. It's not going anywhere. I just got told from, you know, someone I know messaged me today saying, hey, what are you guys doing with AI? Because we've just introduced a bunch of AI agents that are now supporting what we're doing and making our life a little easier. And it's aiding us in our work. And we've seen a real change and a real boost in productivity. That's exactly what you want, but they're using AI. Right? So, you know, I get people are upset with AI and the whole, oh, it's cannibalizing jobs. It's like, it's going to do that. But you're not going to stop it. Yeah, Leaf, because at the moment I'm sleeping like all hours of the day, so my sleeping schedule's all messed up because of the cold. I'm literally just sitting there and passing out, and I'm sleeping for like 2-3 hours at a time. So by the time I'm actually wide awake, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm like, "How you doing? Hey, I want to go. I reckon I should go sleep, but that's not gonna happen." And so I'm sat here all on my own. I could play games or make some content, and I really enjoy making content. So I start making content at stupid o'clock, and obviously at that time I'm gonna potentially make mistakes as well. So I shouldn't do that, but there you go. I don't know. I just don't see this big bad thing about AI. Now, if it's crap and you can see it's crap, then that's fine. But at the moment, AI isn't in a place where it can replace everything. But eventually, it potentially will be, right? But right now, the coding for AI is not very good. If you tell it to code you something and then you go over it, you're going to have to refactor that code because it's just not up to great standard, right? So it's, you know, it's not there yet. But what they're doing is getting ideas, getting concepts or whatever, and then importing that in. It's like, what was it? In Black Ops 7, you had like a couple of pictures in there that were AI. Who gives a crap? You run past them like after you literally see them for a second. Like, why am I gonna, why am I gonna spend 10 hours, 15 hours creating something for something that people are gonna look at for 1 second if they even look at it for a second. It's not that sort of game. Now, if you're talking about something like Jet Set Radio, where the whole game is about creative art, where you'll constantly be looking at art, that's different. So I think there's different levels of this, right? And sounded like Doc now, but people just need to get over the notion that AI is here to stay, and it's going to get more and more used. Dude, look at it this way, right? Look at it this way. Hear me out, right, chat? Hear me out. You ready? Are you ready, chat? Because I'm about to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. Are you ready? But I need you like to be proper ready for this, because this is going to be like mind blowing. You're never going to believe what I'm about to tell you. And this is fact, real. This isn't made up. This isn't make believe. This is true to this day. 10 years ago, right? Maybe even go back 5 years ago, but more between 5 and 10 years ago. No, Susanna. When I was working at at my old workplace now, I used to do test forms for a client that we had. And we needed to test hundreds of these. And we had 4 or 5 people doing this because it was a very big manual job. If we did that today, you automate a script, you run the script, and the script does everything for you. And it basically requires 1 person instead of 5. That is essentially called automated testing, right? It's an automatic test that does the job way faster than those 5-6 people. Needs no real oversight outside of when it breaks down that you go in and fix the script. But then it will just churn out the results you want, and all it does need is the click of a button to go and stop. Right? How is that any different to the AI that's going on today replacing artists? No one cried about QA losing their job, did they? This isn't some new phenomenon that's happening that's, doing stuff. This sort of shit existed for a long time. But the problem now is because it's hitting, the ones that are the loudest in the community, and it's hitting them, people are now actually saying, making a lot of noise. But this has been a problem that's been developing over the years. It's nothing new. I've seen so many people in my QA department, get laid off because of automated testing. Banisher, you can be on the side of who you want. That doesn't change the reality that if the AI art can produce a better drawing than the artist, they're going to use the AI art. It's really that simple. And it's cheaper. But like I said, aren't you on the side of QA? I'm doing a manual job. It takes 8 of us to do it. But we're all employed, right? But someone came along and made a script and made 5 of us redundant. And so they got rid of those 5 and just kept the 1 to do the job. This has been a problem for ages. It's nothing new. It's just now it's got a new sticker to it called AI. Everyone's going mental over it. That's my view. So I think the way people are going after Larian is a bit unfair. When everyone today uses a bit of AI, everyone. They're not the only studio, and they're not going to be the last studio. They're all doing it. The reason why there's a big hoorah about it is because they're losing their jobs, and they're more in the forefront than the background. People doing QA are in the background. No one cares about the people doing QA. They're the little people that no one ever gets to see. But the creative people at the forefront who get accolades and stuff for the creative work that they do, they're at the forefront, so people care about those. But the same thing has been happening to the people working on the backside of things and back end of things, and, you know, but no one cares about those because they don't know. Oh, I know you're not arguing. I'm just making a point. It's only a problem because they have a louder voice. Okay, assuming that they did that, Sepho, that's all fair. What difference will it make? Are you going to turn it off straight away because it had some form of AI? Like, whether you know about it or don't know about it, if you enjoy the game and the game is good, and you think the game is a straight out 10 out of 10, and then you find out, oh my god, this game had one AI voice in there, is that really going to ruin your experience? They've been doing that for ages, Gorsty. That was the whole SAG-AFTRA, which is still going on. And do you know what happens? Those that are on strike lose their jobs, and they hire people who are willing to accommodate it. Just look at Genshin Impact. A number of people were fired, let go. Not fired, but let go. And they were replaced. Oh, that's a Banisher. I didn't even know. Then again, I also didn't care. But it's, you know, the point I'm making, Banisher, is I didn't know that, and knowing that doesn't remove the enjoyment I'm having playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I will still say to this day is a very good game, and is a true Assassin's Creed game, and you guys should play it. Banisher's like, oh my god, did Chaos just praise Assassin's Creed Shadows? What is going on here? What is he drinking? Is he drunk? The Fatui are saints compared to... Nah, the Fatui are evil, man. I don't think you've played long enough. I do not think you've played long enough. Have you not seen how awful Dottore is? Therefore, there's two ways of looking at it, right? Number one, by using AI to reduce the cost, they're able to hit break even quicker or at a safer margin, which means the chances of people keeping their jobs are increased. On the other hand, if you're looking at a game that potentially was a massive blow, because the average game sells about 2 million copies, right? They don't really sell more than that, especially from what we've seen. And so normally you'd need a lot more money, depending on how big the budget is, a lot more copies sold in order to break even. If AI reduces that cost and then allows the game to come out, say, 6 months faster, and actually keeps those people employed because they're able to hit that break-even point, So there's a balancing act to be made there. I don't believe in $80 games. You know, ever since the games went from 60 to 70, I've just historically spent less on games. And if it goes to 80, I'm going to spend even less. I really don't care what it is, unless it's a game that I have to play day one. So to me, they stand to lose money. And I don't agree with £80 pricing. But it is what it is. I just wait for a discount, right? But my thought process is, if AI reduces the overall cost and it also reduces the time for a game, so instead of taking 7 years to come out, it takes 4 years or 4.5 years. That's good. Or if a game usually takes, a AA game takes 4.5 years, but they can reduce it to 2 years, that's great, right? You're looking at 2 games during the period of 1. And with the reduced costs, it means that they can hit their break-even point a lot faster, which means people keep their jobs. I'm drunk? No. What do you guys think of this? Lords of Fallen 2 coming to in 2026 as an Epic exclusive. The Steam Bros come out, try to appeal to gamers and garner good PR. Announced release exclusively on the Epic Game Store, despite the immense displeasure many gamers have with the storefront and the fact PC gamers chose PC to avoid exclusivity nonsense. So where is Half-Life on Epic Game Store? Where's Team Fortress? Where's Portal? Oh, Mr. Kima, I know, man. I know. I will do in a bit, Leaf. So where's these games on? I mean, if they don't like exclusivity, why are they exclusive? Why are they exclusive? Oh, by the way, the Epic Games free game is a game called Dead Cells, I think it is. But apparently it's the mobile version only. Which kind of sucks. Oh no, it's actually a game called Yohinder. Hordes of Hell. Dead Cells is another free game that they're offering on mobile. So Jotun Slayer, Hordes of Hell, is now free on the Epic Game Store. It is ghosty. But I'm not here crying about exclusives. I just think it's hypocritical to cry about exclusives when the platform that you're using has exclusives. You know? Soul, I do a lot of that. Like during the Black Friday sale, I picked up so many games that were £2, £3, £1.50, £2. They're all these like old school RPGs. I picked up a bunch of the Yeez games and stuff like that, and you know, That works for me. Third-party games should be everywhere if the person funding it is not a platform, right? If I'm funding the game, like Alan Wake 2, I funded it, I want it on my platform. Why should I put that on another platform? I only played one of the hack franchises, though I do know the story quite well. I had a friend that never shut up about it. That nothing will ever convince me that having a launcher is the same as what... You know, I'm looking at it from a console perspective, right? I'm a console guy. I always will be, and I'm always going to have that mentality, right? At the time, if I wanted to play Halo when it came out, I had to have an Xbox. If I wanted to play Mario, I needed to go buy a Nintendo device. If I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII, I needed to go buy a PlayStation 1. Right? If I wanted to play Burning Rangers, I needed to go buy a Sega Saturn. I needed to invest 200 quid, 250 quid per device as an entry point before, and that's not even including the game, right? Fast forward to where we are today. You know, well, I guess let's just use Avowed as an example because it's available on Xbox. If I wanted to play Avowed, I have to buy an Xbox. If I want to play, I don't know, Bloodborne, I have to buy a PlayStation. If I want to play Mario Kart World, I have to buy a Nintendo. The point I'm making is, from a console perspective, you need to have a heavy investment first into buying the hardware, which is generally why I got into the mentality of buying all the hardware so I don't have that problem, right? That's part of the reason why I buy it. And then you look at PC when it's literally, oh, look. Type the URL, click download, click install, next. Ooh! That didn't take long. Right? There's a massive difference here between a game being exclusive to a specific hardware than a goddamn launcher. When is it really exclusive if your PC can play it? MiHoYo is not going to lose that 30%. And never forget, right? Never forget. Sweeney turned around to Gabe and said, if you care about the developers that much and the publishers, and you want to be fair to them, offer them what I'm offering them at 12%, because Sweeney doesn't charge 30%, he charges 12%. Offer them 12% and I will close the Epic Game Store. He made that offer to Gabe and Gabe said no. Because he knew that he doesn't really have to do anything. The fanboys will do it for him. So I don't really see that as big of a problem. People are just going to cry about this. I mean, I've personally got no interest in Lords of Fallen. Although, right, to be fair, let's see if we can find Lords of Fallen 2 stuff. There was something that the publisher said that I thought was quite interesting. Where is it? If we can find it. This is essentially it. Lords of Fallen 2 is being attacked. CEO promises hot women. They've basically said that Lords of Fallen 2 will feature very attractive women in the game. And people didn't like that response from the CEO. But they know what sells, and so they're going to do it. Lords of Fallen 2 will include attractive female characters. And so a bunch of people got into an uproar about it. I don't know, I thought it was funny. But yeah, as a console, as someone who is a console consumer, the launcher wars will never make sense to me, ever. Especially when you get better performance natively running on the Epic Game Store launcher than you do on Steam. You get more frames because there's less bloat. So if you've got like a weaker machine, your games actually run better with the Epic Game Store. You get more frames from it because of the lesser bloat on the actual launcher. You do. I've tested it. You do. I've tested it with a number of games now where I've got the same games for them. You do get, it's not a lot, it's like 2 or 3 frames, but you do get more. And that's just because of the bloat, because of it doesn't have all of that baggage running in the background. Whereas Steam has a lot of services running in the background, Epic Game Store doesn't. And for that reason, it gives you a couple more frames. So it's not even a performance issue thing. People just have this big thing. But do you know what's the biggest thing that I can take away today? This one right here. They did it once. They did it twice. They're back with a third one. They are console warring again, but this time they're kind of console-y platform warring. And they're still going on this, right? They're saying the big difference between showing a character's female figure and the shape of their body versus pornographic or naked modifications, vulgar pornographic mods. Let's have a look and see what their trailer is. Just notice every single outfit. This is their official trailer, by the way. Just notice every single outfit and camera angle that they're using. But they say that they respect women, right? Keep in mind that they respect women. Okay? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They truly do, right? They truly do, right? Yeah. Yeah, they're really grabbing that shot perfectly, right? They truly want to respect and not put any revealing outfits on there. Like, they will never escape the allegations, right? Yeah. Yeah, they want to get that ass shot right there, man. They are zooming, they are turning that camera angle so you can see every sway of that ass cheek. They're making sure that you can see as much skin as possible to try and get you into buying the game. Oh yeah, look at that angle, man. Look at that angle that they're trying to aim for. But they're not trying to disrespect the female body or show anything that's disrespectful, right? Sanchez, this is... I'll tell you in a second. It's Team Killer's new game. They basically wanted to create like a Dino Crisis game. And they're hoping it's going to appeal to that community. Ultraviolet, that's it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they totally want to keep it like respectful, right? They totally want to keep it respectful, right? Code Violet. Pre-order now. And so if you pre-order, you get all of these super attractive, you know, like this one is virtually just in lingerie outfits. And apparently the pre-orders have gone through the roof from what they're saying, and they're really happy with it. The point I'm making here is, I don't care if people are going to make a game where you goon to. I play gacha games where the biggest reason is to goon, right? I got no problem with gooning. Stellar Blade is another game that you goon to, right? I got no problem with that. But you own that, right? You come out there and you own that. You say, I got a good game here, but I'm also putting a character here where I know you are going to goon on it, male or female. It don't matter. You are going to goon on this, and that's fine. Own it. But don't do what these guys are doing, man. They're like, no, we don't want to put it on PC now because of mods and shit in it, but we're going to make the characters, so you can see pretty much their fanny flips, but that's okay. So dumb, man. Like, if you're going to go down that path, go down that path. Don't, like, try to walk the high ground and then just completely embarrass yourself. The whole trailer was about saying, hey, this is a character you'd like to screw. She's really attractive. Don't look at the gameplay. Don't look at anything else. Check out her ass. That's it. That was literally the trailer. But, they are aiming for that G spot. Exactly. Have you seen these games, Diablo? Maybe you haven't played them. But these games, they make the characters look amazing. But they're aiming for a certain audience. And that's okay, because if you're aiming for that audience, there's no problem. You just own it. Look at Nikkei. They know the audience they're going for. They know who their target market is. And so they're going there. And so they show you more of that stuff to get you in. And there are more games like that. Don't sit there and tell me that the original Lara Croft was aimed at, 40-year-old men. No way in hell you're going to turn around and tell me that the original Lara Croft was aimed at 40-year-old men. It wasn't. It had a certain demographic that it was aimed for, and people were gooning over it and bought it because she was hot. Even if it was PS1 graphics, that was the best you could get before you had the internet. So the reality is, that's all we had. But if you know the market you're aiming for, own it. These guys kind of want to eat the cake, but make the cake and then eat it as well. No, I don't like what they're doing. Diablo, I get that, but all I'm saying is, if you're going to go down that road, own it, right? Be proud of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Just go with it, man. I mean, you're already putting the outfits in the game anyway, so what do you care at this point? I mean, last time they turned around and said that, what was their last game that they made? I can't remember. That without the PlayStation SSD, this game isn't possible. Yeah, they actually turned around and said that. The game got like a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10. The game flopped historically bad. It's one of the worst rated games of all time. Right? And that's probably going to be another game that you guys want me to play. But at the same time, these guys were out there console warring saying that Xbox couldn't do it. Diablo, that pun was definitely intended. You know it was. The chat knows it was. And it was very well delivered. I mean, did you see the amount of drop-off for Pornhub on Xbox users? It was down like minus 40%. Xbox was at 95, PlayStation was at 95%. Do I need to say more? Ah, Quantum Error. I did pick that up at Halloween so we could check it out, but we never got time to. It was on sale for $6, so I bought it. So I could play for you guys. Maybe one day. But yeah, I just want them to be honest about it. And just say, you know what? We know that this is going to sell. This is going to do well. Go to town. On another note, Tencent and Sony have reached confidential agreement over Light of Moritam lawsuit. Game is no longer listed on Steam or Epic Game Store. It looks like Light of Moritam is officially dead. I think it's a shame. I think this could have been pretty successful, and Sony should have taken up Tencent's offer. I agree with C-Bomb here. Oh well, that's another game Sony has killed this year. The vet gets them wet. Naughty Dog Studio orders employees overtime for Intergalactic to finish an internal demo and get production back on track. The game is slated for a mid-2027 release. So there's going to be a hell of a lot of crunch for this. Jason Schreier won't like this crunch. Neil Druckmann when he ordered this. Earlier this year, members of the production team were each given customized metal coins that seemed to capture, purposefully or not, the current state of the studio's workplace attitude. On the side was the company's paw print logo. On the other, a quote from a trailer for Intergalactic Heretic the Prophet. The suffering of generations must be endured to achieve our divine end. Here come all the performative, I'm not buying this game now posts, probably. So yeah. Crunch is a thing, guys. It happens in every tech industry. It's nothing new. You have deadlines for projects. People need to understand that, you know, missing those deadlines can cost millions. So, depending on the game, they have to beat it. To be fair, Sanchez, it wasn't a PlayStation game that they cancelled. They just killed another game that they thought was imitating theirs. But still, it had the potential to be a decent game. Do you know what, Talos? That could potentially be a good game. No, I'm just kidding. But who knows, right? Who knows? But yeah, you're going to see a lot of people like crying about this crunch thing. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I don't really see it as a big problem. Crunch is part of the gaming industry. It was there when I was working. It's there now. You know, I hear my friends going through crunch every now and then. You know, even where I used to work, there was crunch. So, you know, it is what it is, man. It's just part of the tech industry. Silent Hill producer Motoi Okamoto is interested in moving the series to other cultures across the globe. His teams have been looking at other Asian regions, areas in Central or South America, and at countries like Russia and Italy. That's kind of cool. I really enjoyed, you know, Silent Hill F. So, if they can deliver more games like this, I am all for this. I think this is amazing. This was a great game. Really, really good game. So, I got no problems with this. I'm actually all for it. Massive yes from me. And, you know, I think they should definitely double down on that. Which game is that, Power Boss? Are we getting sexy Latinas versus zombies? Do you know what, Rachie? Eventually. Eventually. You wanted me to check out Tatooine STarfield mod. Is there like a trailer for it? Need to be careful if there's any Star Wars music, because that's instant demonetization. Let's have a look at this. So this is Starfield. Man, that must have taken forever to build, man. No, don't play the music. Don't play the music. All right, it's really quiet, and I'm going to talk over it, and hopefully you guys can hear it barely. I don't want to deal with the whole demonetization side of this again. But this is the mod that they created and made. It's really cool, man. This is really, really damn cool. tell you what, we'll get him on for next week Tuesday because I'm about to finish. I need to go rest. I'm kind of starting to feel really bad. I'll get him in for a bit on Tuesday. And the whole of my mouth is itching. You guys thought the update for COD was bad? The PC update for Wuthering Waves 3.0 is 150 gigabytes. Man, I don't even have that much space. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to delete stuff. Yeah, Woodpit, I'm still got the cold, and it's still kicking my ass. I just thought I'd go live today for a little bit. I know I started late. I woke up like almost at 8 o'clock, and it took me like half an hour or so to just sort myself out. And I thought I'd jump online for a little bit and just have some, just hang out for a bit. I'm hoping by next week I'll be better. This is really cool though, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this is really, really cool. But are these on planets that aren't really used, or are these replacing like Killa, sorry? Are these replacing planets that actually have pre-built cities? Or are these on planets where there's nothing there and they're just random planets? Hey, good to see you around, Sol. Yeah, most easily. These are on their own custom-made planets. Oh, so like these aren't to do with the ones in Starfield at all. These are additional planets in solar systems. So they have no effect on the actual overall game. So if I introduce this mod, for example, right? If I introduce this mod, would it affect my base game in terms of playing the story? Would I see any real effects there? Or is this like a side quest of sorts where it's a new additional planet that they've added that you can visit and then return back to the MSQ at any time? Oh, that's really cool, Leaf. That actually has me a lot more interested in trying this stuff out before I finish the game then. Because if it doesn't impact my game, then I'm good. I thought stuff like this would replace like a Killa town or stuff like that. And then that would have been that's a problem for me. But yeah, cool stuff. All right, guys, I am definitely going to call it there. I am starting to feel really, really unwell. I'm just going to go get some rest. I really hope you enjoyed the stream today, and thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the memberships and the super chats. As always, it goes a long way, especially now that I'm doing this full time. It matters even more. But thanks so much, and I will see you guys either at the stream on Risk It on Saturday morning at 12:30 a.m. for us in the UK, or when I'm live next, whenever that is. Peace out, folks. Thanks so much. I'm out.